Today, I'm going to be talking about Battle Cats, one of the greatest and most revolutionary mobile games in the world that is still fantastic today. It has unique and fresh gameplay, simple and different designs, well balanced, doesn't rely on multiplayer to make it playable for years, and so much more. Yet not many people play today and or take it for granted, when it is one of the few living mobile masterpieces today. This is why Battle Cats is underrated. We're going to be taking names in chronological order. Before you start a game, you must have either heard of it or remembered it. Many games make people hear about our game through ads. And while console/PC games typically have good ads, this is mobile, and you know what mobile ads are like. If not, then just search them up because they are horrible! I don't think I've ever seen Battle Cats have ads, and they rather sponsor big child-friendly YouTubers, so their advertising is more friendly and entertaining. Their community is also pretty strong and helps spread the cats. So we talked about how their advertising is friendly and nice, so what about when you download the games? Well, it doesn't take up too much storage, less than a gigabyte. It is accessible for almost all devices, and it is free, with some in-app purchases that aren't necessary at all to complete the game and get the full experience. It could save you a bit of time, yes, but they aren't necessary, and even the casual gamers will get plenty of progress each day to catch up on the latest stages. So, you start to play the game. You open up with an easy stage that introduces you to the basics of how the game works. It's quick and easy to learn, and while knowing how to read is nice, you don't need to, because the visuals demonstrate what it is saying through text. Each stage is there for a reason. It is expanding upon the world of Battle Cats in every single stage. Maybe you'll unlock a new cat, or perhaps discover a new enemy, a new mechanic. Another thing you'll notice is how recognizable each enemy and cat is because of how simple and yet different they are. This game can even compete with Pokemon, one of the largest and recognizable video game franchises, and easily a very high budget one. Each stage has a different base design that symbolizes a country, like for instance Eiffel Tower and India's food. It is well balanced with a few easy stages and then a hard stages, a few easy and then a couple of intermediate stages and then a hard one, and so on. This allows the player to feel relaxed after finishing a hard stage. Another thing about this game is that you have something called energy. This allows the player to not play excessively and not burn out and take breaks when they need play a lot. You'll still get plenty of progress each day and feel complete. It is complex yet simple. There are hundreds of different cats and enemies you'll approach, each having different stats and abilities. However, since you'll be introduced to them slowly, and since they each have a unique design, it'll be easy to understand each of them and you can form great strategies based on that. You can upgrade cats using XP, cat fruit, the helmet stones, cat eyes, and NP, each used for different parts of the cat's performance, yet the different parts come steady and slowly, so you'll be able to remember them all and it won't be overwhelming. There are various different abilities, but they are very easy to understand and only require some visual understanding and basic reading skills. Even kindergarteners can play and enjoy this game. While this is a children's game, even adults will find joy playing this game. All the content that one might call unsuitable for children will not be noticed by kids and will only be noticed by the teens and adults and will add layers to the joyful simplicity children are witnessing. After a year or two of consistent gameplay over 100 hours, you might think you have unlocked everything, but then you'll realize that there's still lots of things to do. Perhaps you need to unlock talents, or defeat the ancient curse, or unlock more stages/events and farming techniques. There's so many things you can do in this game, and not a single thing will require you to pay money. And this is an offline game. Yes, it requires internet to keep giving you internet while off app, but you can actually play this game without internet and have fun. But what about if you don't want to enjoy the years worth of fresh and engaging single player content meant for all ages this game has to offer? Well, this game has spin-offs, and guess what? They are actually pretty decent. And while the first and most iconic game of Battle Cats was released in 2012 and has seen better days in terms of people playing the game, guess what? Bonus is still delivering fresh content to not only the current games, but also are adding new quality games. They're still alive and fresh. Many mobile companies start to fail, or should I say, fail. Sorry, I had to make that real-time reference. Anyways, after several years and just give up and when there's an obvious solution. Cough, cough. But Ponus is still working hard. In fact, they have also some other games outside of Battle Cats. Many mobile companies made the mistake of putting all their ideas into one franchise, weakening the franchise due to some unnecessary ideas, weakening the original charm, but Ponus doesn't make a mistake, so you know that all Battle Cats games will have at least some of the charm the original has. Well, I've been doing a lot of praising now, and some of the haters are probably typing something to contradict my claims and make Battle Cats look bad, even though they themselves probably play some games that with most toxic communities, or play some pirated games that ended up damaging the original creators or probably filled with viruses. But you know what? Let's answer them. Shadow dude, throw them at me. But I actually enjoy Battle Cats. I'm just a smarter, more serious side of you. I thought serious people don't play video games. Battle Cats is one of a kind with high amounts of simple yet complex mechanics that is easy to consume yet can be dived deeper. Yeah, we're doing a lot of praising right now and we should be providing some rebuttals. And what's with me and these unnecessarily long sentences? Anyways, throw them at me no matter your actual opinion about this amazing game that has a lot of values that it's hard to... I'm doing it again, am I? Just start now. Battle Cats has cannibalism.
No, it does not. If you're wondering who would make such an obscure claim, my friend did as an excuse as to why he doesn't want to play the game. Yes, cats do fight each other at certain points of the game, but they are fighting, not eating each other. Yes, some cats have bite attacks, but that's also in Pokemon. If you call Battle Cats a game of eating your own species' flesh, then you're also calling Pokemon a game of cannibalism. So war biting is cannibalism. Did you say that most humans' form of romantic display is an act of cannibalism? Next.
Battle Cats is inappropriate. I already mentioned that all unsuitable content will fly over a child's head, and Apple themselves gave it a 9+ rating. So if you're saying that a multi-billion-dollar company's age rating system is bogus, then he has a pretty bold claims that require a lot of evidence to help fight against the dozens of lawyers each super large company has. Next. Battle Cats is for babies. Battle Cats is playable by babies, but this game is for everybody. Or you're saying that the entire Mario franchise, and that includes the main 2D and 3D platformers, Mario Party games, Mario Kart games, Paper Mario, Mario and Luigi, and so much more is only played by babies? These games are for everybody. And what about Minecraft, Roblox, and Fortnite? Three of the most popular games of the last decade is for babies? And why do you call it for babies?
It's because a lot of amazing and critically acclaimed games don't have hyper-realistic device-crashing visuals. Mario and pretty much the rest of Nintendo don't have mind-blowing visuals, but they're still artistic and enjoyable, considered some of the best video games ever made. And what about Minecraft, Roblox, and Fortnite? Three video games that have been war with each other for years because almost all games are on either side. Those games are for babies. Battle Cats are baby easy to learn, but there are years worth of mechanics you can learn. And I can bet you that a pro gamer in his 20s that knows nothing about a game will have trouble using an account with 3 years of progress and to complete a level that he'll encounter at that time, no matter how good he is. So yeah, this claim is outrageous and contradicts at least one point every gamer has in their mind. Next!
There's not much to do in Battle Cats after a while.
Alright, finally some point that it feels like it was actually made by someone who played the game for at least 10 minutes and could be perceived that way at some point. However, the energy mechanic is very important to note because it can help many players play for a long time without being bored. When I played Angry Birds Epic, I got burned out soon after I rescued all 5 eggs, but I went from me being able to play all the time and having pretty strong goals to only getting to play 3 levels a day in some large post-game dungeon. Well, I could have still played more, but then Rovi decided to take away all the events that made this game playable for a while. And even if it's event state, I can only play a certain amount every day. This problem could have been avoided if we could only play about, say, 70 levels a day. However, the energy allows to get a lot of progress done every day, but still be limited. So whenever there are times when you feel like you're going to be doing some grinding for a while, it wouldn't be so bad because by anyways you're only going to be able to play 30 minutes a day. And Battle Cats have a lot of content you can do every day. You'll probably feel like this at midpoint, so let me talk about what you can do at this point.
You can do Into the Future, Cats of Cosmos, Stories of Legend, Gauntlets, Limited Events, Awakening Stages, Collabs, Treasure Farming, Cat Food Farming, XP Farming, a Research Last Chapter. The list goes on.
Yeah, not all these things will be possible at all times, but you'll always have at least one fun/casual thing you can do. So while you might be burned out, there are always some feel you can find if you try hard enough. Or perhaps you can take a long break and come back. I once took a 2-month break with me only logging in almost every day for cat tickets, and that worked out for me, and I proceeded to play consistently to this day. So yeah, next!
No online play. I already mentioned that Ponos has released several other Battle Cats games to play that have online play, and Cat Claw Dojo, a feature in the main game. Events will come regularly that have you competing for the highest position to get the highest reward. And you can always talk about how your amazing cats and or your amazing accomplishments through screenshots and screen recordings, so that way that shouldn't be much of a problem. Anyways, I don't think there are many anti-cat claims left, so let's conclude this video.
Battle Cats may have some issues, but that doesn't stop it from being one of the best, if not the best, mobile games out there. However, not many people acknowledge its masterpiece, making it one of the most underappreciated/underrated mobile games out there. Creators work hard on their products, and Battle Cats has proof that if you work and try hard enough, you'll make something truly amazing, and you'll get popularity, even if it's not that much. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.
Bye!